Hey people, what's up? What's going on? This is the Infinity Midwife. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are taking care of yourselves. You guys are loving on yourselves. So, you know what? I wanted to come with this subject because, it was lingering in my mind. I was thinking about it and I needed to act on it. So, I have a message for you guys. And now, this is going to work on two levels, okay? I want y'all to listen up because it's going to be short and it's going to be condensed, okay? This is a condensed message. So the message I was coming to you with is, how we have, because again, like this is the collective shadow we are talking about, and so I'm just bringing a little bit of more light into the picture. You know how we have this conception that us as adults, we come into this world imperfect. And so we need to perfect, or we need to become more perfect beings. I feel like that is a really big misconception that needs to be reviewed, that needs to be redefined somehow. Because I feel like, as children growing up, parents occupy a lot of space in terms of authority, in terms of, shaping us, molding us. But I feel that we come with this, again, from this bondage, this era of bondage, we come with this conception that children are coming or have come to this earth imperfect. And so we need to shape them and mold them so that they fit a certain model to be in society, or to be good models or be good humans into society. So we have this notion that we come into this world, we are imperfectly beings, and that we need to be modeled and guided from our parents in order to become, the best or greatest version of ourselves. And I feel like oftentimes that leads to a lot of abuse, especially if you are in this parental authority, right? You think that you have certain form of authority over your child because you're probably older than them and they're probably younger than you, or they're smaller than you and you're bigger than them. But I feel like this is something that needs to be redefined. Because number one, if, I don't want to go back into sacred text, but if we are, again, shaped, or if we are, if we come to this earth in the image of the Creator, we should already be perfectly born, right? We come into this world with everything. We are actually, when we come into this dimension, we are perfect. And as we grow and as we try to mold ourselves into society, we then stray, or we go away, or we get out of our path of perfection, and then we get into this, wanting to become something that we're not. And I feel like this is when we start being imperfected beings, when we start fitting a certain mold, when we start fitting a certain norm that society, or education or religion or culture wants to place upon us, right? Through traditions, through how our parents raised us. And I feel like it can even go a little bit further in my thinking that we think that because we are parents, we think we have to discipline our children. We think we have to mold them a certain way, shape them a certain way, tell them what to do and not to do, how to think and not to think, what to say and not to say. But I feel like children come with their own gifts, their own talents, their own ways of being. And us as parents, we're there to remind them that they are perfect the way they are. Yes, there's a certain way to conduct ourselves in society, whatever, whatnot, but we need to keep our children as sane and perfect as they are as possible. Because again, we need to reshape this world that we're living in. And the best way to do it is to change our perspective as to how we do not come here to be to gain power over our children. Our children are not our slaves. Our children are not our how do you say that, subordinates. Like, they're not under us and we're not superior to them. If anything, we come on this equal base where we are here to learn and teach from one another, because children come with their own knowledge, they come with their own gifts, they come with their own perception of the world. And if we're just a little bit attentive and even open to see what they have to share with us, we would be amazed, because children do amaze us. Sometimes we're blown away by the things they say, and we have no idea where they took it from. But that's just it. I do come from a background where there's a lot of power structures. Parents are very entitled to their children. Parents feel that they are entitled to their children. Parents feel that they need to set their children in a very narrow path. What they need to do when they grow up, the type of career they have to take, the type of education they have to have, the type of religion they have to pursue, or faith that they need to believe in. But all of that is meant to be changed. It's meant to be reshaped. It's meant to be destroyed. And our children are there to show us. Our children are there just as much as we are there to learn from them. We are there to as well teach them, but most definitely learn from them. And I'm talking from personal experience, being a mother, but as well being a daughter. Like, I know how, in our African culture, the mother is the be all and end all to everybody and everything. But if we go back to the notion that we're coming out of an era of bondage, we know that a lot of our parents, whether being our mothers or our fathers, they were extremely tainted in how they've expressed their powers, because again, they were operating from a very toxic masculinity way of parenting, way of showing love, way of caring, way of being attentive, way of disciplining. So that means that in how we grew up, people from my generation, we grew up with a very narrow mind as to how parents need to be. Like, the mother is the ultimate truth, and then the children are beneath her, and that they need to get her blessing, so they need to do everything that she says, which in basic truth, that's not how it works. A mother is not there to abuse of her children. A mother is not there to abuse of her power over her children. A mother is not there to be entitled to what her children want to be or thrive to be. She's not there to manipulate her children. The mother is there to care for the children. The mother is there to nourish. The mother is there to give. Not to be the ultimate giver, because there's always this equilibrium of give and take that needs to happen between parents and children. But I ultimately believe that in our African culture, there's this belief that the mother has the last say over everything. Although I do give credit to the fact that we as biological feminine bodies, we came here to bring life. We came here to be a vessel for life. And I get that, because it can be a very fatal life and death situation when we are going through the maternal world, when we are bearing children. I get it. I totally do. But we should not take power, or we should not abuse of that power, or abuse of that talent or that gift that was bestowed upon us. Because ultimately we did it. Yes, we allowed life to go through us and to pass through us, but ultimately we did it with the Creator. It was not something, granted, we allowed our bodies to be shaped and to be molded in order to carry life, but we shouldn't in turn put that burden on our children and manipulate them or control them with the, with the saying, I brought you here, I'll take you out. That's just abuse. That's just abuse of power and control. Like, that saying, I brought you in and I can take you out, that's literally playing God. And as mothers, if we are in our balanced state of mind, we should know better, that we're not here to take or to bring. Like, this shouldn't even be part of how we should interact with our children. I brought you into this world, so therefore I can take you out. Like, people find it funny, and they use it in jokes and in comedy, but no, I don't feel that I don't feel that it's healthy for a child. I don't feel that it's healthy for a child to carry his mother's wounds or to carry his mother's burden. So that in and of itself, I feel like it's not healthy, it's not balanced. So this message for today is, as much as we want to walk in balance within ourselves, with our feminine aspect and our masculine aspect. I feel that at the end of the day, we need to look at our children just as the same. They are walking with their own feminine and masculine, and they express their truth, because if anything, or if anybody, children that come into this world are the closest to God. They're the closest to perfection. They're the closest to whatever have you, purity, or whatever you want to call it, So I feel like when we try to mold them into something they're not, ultimately we are taking them out of their perfection. Just as, previous generations, like, there's a lot of healing that goes into this. And I feel like if this message reaches out to parents out there, treat your children. Yes, they are younger than you. Yes, you're there to shape them, but you're most definitely there to guide them, because they come with their own essence. They come with their own truth. They come with their own character. They come with their own personality. Yes, it's your genes. Yes, it's somewhat your blueprint. And yes, they've come through your vessel, but ultimately you're there to guide them towards their own godlyhood, towards their own balance, feminine and masculine. And so I feel like it's important that as parents of today, growing in this world, we need to have a different approach as to how we want to nourish our kids. We want to discipline them, like, even discipline, like how can we bring discipline to our children without being a form of punishment, or a form of, aggression or microaggression, because they feel it as well, right? So with that being said, sometimes I hear, oh, you need to do certain things for your mom because she will give you the ultimate blessing. Well, today, the message of today is, I'll leave it at that. Find or seek blessing from your children. When your children tell you, like, my children started telling me this like a few days ago, or even a few weeks ago, they bless me. Like, they say, Mom, I bless you. May you have a blessed day. Like, that is a reward. Like, I cannot even tell you how, like, fulfilled I feel from within, because I feel like this is the creator or the universe using them to bless me. Okay? Like, I feel really, really blessed when my children bless me. When I bless them, sometimes I may say it, but the intention may not be fully there because I'm thinking of other things, or, like, I may not be fully in alignment with what I say I do. Or when I say I bless them, sometimes I could be mixed with some form of emotions. But when children tell you they bless you, know that is coming from a deep, pure heart. And that is the purest form of blessing you could ever get. So, when I feel that, we give so much power to the mother, we give so much power to the parents saying, you need to do certain things in order to get the ultimate blessing. Like, I feel like it needs to be reversed now. You know, us parents, let's try to guide our children and to guide them towards their own uniqueness so that we see them ascend to their own godlyhood if ever they were taken out of that path, or we acknowledge that they've come here to be their own uniqueness. Okay? And so that being said, man, well, I could talk about it as well on so many other levels. The same applies with women and men. Like, you know, in some cultures and some traditions, you know, some people will say, oh, you know, your door to paradise is through your husband. Excuse me? Your door to paradise is through your husband? Like, I've heard some of my friends back in college would say, you know, Quincia, you know, Yeli, your way to paradise is through your husband. Like, what type of bondage are we getting ourselves into when we believe in those things? Excuse me? Like, for real, we need to stop creating those bondage, those way we contract ourselves, or we limit ourselves to certain beliefs that really limits us or puts us in a box. And yes, it happens with our children. It happens with us women. It happens to men. So we need to be aware of the type of beliefs we keep having about, you know, if I do this, it's gonna guarantee me a place in heaven. If I do this, it's gonna guarantee me this. If I do this, so what are you really doing? And what are you really doing it for? Is it because you want to have a certain afterlife, a certain guarantee that you're gonna be good? How about you stay grounded and you find goodness in your present moment? How about that? Huh? How about that? How about you take a few deep breaths and you align yourself in the present moment and find goodness in this and find heaven in it? Know what I'm saying? All this to say, guys, that was my message for the week. Hope you're taking care. Hope you're loving on yourself. Hope you are allowing your children to tap into their godly selves, because they are godly just as much as we are. But, you know, we need to do the work of healing. We need to do the work of reprogramming. We need to do the work of realigning. And when we do that, we can actually look at our children and see that we are just as gifted and as talented and as unique as they are.